Hello and welcome to the Goofy Movies Podcast. Joining me today is Adam.
Jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams. Bush did 9/11.
Okay then. And Connor.
I killed Jeffrey Epstein. It was me all along.
You son of a bitch.
It's episode 21.
He
Or is it 20?
finally got it right.
Hey, you know what? We can finally drink. My memory's finally there. We got it, baby.
Was weird. All right.
But yeah, episode 21. How we feeling?
Blackjack.
How we feeling, dogs?
I thought last week was 21.
No, I got it wrong last week saying 21.
You didn't even say it last week. I did.
Oh yeah, you did. You said it with the intro,
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it right immediately.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I want to start.
No, you finish.
No, you go.
I was just gonna say I'm feeling all right today. I mean, last week was killer with work for me, but I actually got sleep. I actually got a human amount of sleep today.
I didn't get a good amount of sleep today, but I flipped my mattress over and I slept in the I flipped the position I sleep in, where I sleep in my bed, and I slept my quality of sleep was better, so I feel much better about that. So, I wanted to talk about this week. I wanted to talk about why the absolute fuck are dudes? Why are people so fucking horny over Peg, dude?
It's those hips, man. Those hips.
Look, yes, it is those hips, but it's just fucking wild to me. I forgot why, but I looked up Peg Pete on Google,
Oh, right. You forget why.
Yeah, I forgot.
A likely story.
Look it up.
Oh no, I remember why.
I used Bing just to hide.
No, I remember why. It was because and one of our friends asked, "Oh, what is MILF aesthetics?" And I posted Peg. I posted a photo of Peg, and I was like, "This is peak MILF." And fucking some of our friends got mad at me for saying that, and I was like, "No, it's true though. She's quite literally."
I'm mad at you.
Yeah, it was
As one of those friends, I stand by what I said.
But
which was stop.
but yet again, I'm not the only person who's fucking doing shit like this, which is fucking whatever in itself. Yeah. But no, yeah, it's fucking crazy that so fucking many people just are horny over her.
They were only mad because they didn't think of it first.
What?
Your friends were only mad at you because they didn't think of it first. That Peg didn't immediately come to mind when it was peak MILFs,
I mean, that's fair, but there's also shit.
Untrue, but
also I think it's Peg isn't just drawn sexual, just overly sexual. It's just also just her attitude. It's just It's I feel like she would take control in the bedroom. She'll it's her way, and you're gonna just have to deal with it. There's something there. I'm not about to out myself.
Okay, all right then. But have you ever heard of the term of admittance through denial? Because that's what we just did. No. So basic, but yeah, I get so weirded out. And also, I'm also not the only one who realizes Peg's hair is a weird shape, cause I saw a cosplayer trying to cosplay Peg, and the fucking hair was such a wild tried to like such a wild try at styling her hair that it just like completely missed the point. And mind you, this cosplayer is like relatively good at like what they do. So like I've seen a couple of her like shit like of her shit before. So like I just find it genuinely wild that like her hair is weird. It is not based off of real hairstyle. It's just it defies normal hair logic. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a cartoon.
Don't get me wrong.
Don't get me wrong, but it's a cartoon, and we're talking about a world where Goofy like explodes and like lives and is totally fine, but it is also it's also just like at least they're based off of something like that like kind of exists, you know. And like Peg's hair doesn't. There's it's alien. It's fucking alien is what the hairstyle is. It like the amount of fucking like hairspray she must use every morning to get her hair that shape is wild in my opinion. Right?
Doesn't matter. Still smash.
Well, yeah, of course.
It probably is like a cosplayer's nightmare trying to do hair like that.
Oh, 100%.
100%.
100%. Also, I was confronted with a very horrifying question while on my Peg Pete search, which led me like to some Twitter's artist page, and their pinned comment was a fucking like poll, and wonder what the poll was, and I want you guys your guys' answers. Want to know? It was who was Peg's? Who was Max's first time?
Oh my!
Who claimed it? I was like, bro,
you didn't make this?
I did it. Like, dude, I'm telling you, like that, like my recent like the weird fucking hole that I fell into because of this like weird like just like innocently looking up Peg Pete, because all I looked up was Peg Pete to like post a photo of her, and that's it. That's all I fucking wanted to do. I'm not here being like ooh, you know, like fucking trying to fucking bust a nut or whatnot. Like, cause like I could fucking find plenty of fucking bust a nut porn anywhere, any place. It don't fucking matter. But like this fucking, they just fucking. That's what I asked. Like, what the fuck? What the genuine fuck is with this? Like the fucking amount of horniness that like revolves around Peg. Like, it's crazy, right?
I mean, it is strange to just single her out above all else.
Like, don't get me wrong, it's her and Roxanne, but like, there is like at least there's wholesome art of Roxanne, you know. With Peg, like I fucking found a fucking photo of someone drawing Peg cosplaying like fucking Power Girl, dog. Like, what the fuck is that shit? Like, like, you know what I mean?
You're losing your voice over this, man.
I do know what you mean. And we're gonna need a link.
I could post a photo. It don't bother me none. That'd be true.
I need to see some photos for purposes.
Okay. By the way, so yeah. The poll was who was Max Goof's first sexual experience. So that doesn't necessarily mean like lose his virginity. Just first sexual experience. The choices were Roxanne, Peg, Debbie, and Lisa. What do you guys think? Who do you guys think it was his first sexual experience? I want to go in first and ask, what defines a sexual experience?
Like a sexual awakening.
So like I don't
You know, like,
I don't know if that's like what that means. Like sexual experience, I kind of feel like it implies this person has to be involved with them. What do you think, Connor?
No, like it said experience.
Well, yeah,
It could be anything. It could be like your Bobby molesting him at a sleepover. It could be anything.
yeah, you're right, bud.
So let's go down that rabbit hole. What do you guys think that happened?
Probably not.
I hope not.
I don't. I mean,
Let's not go down this path.
no, because like I'm just thinking, I'm like, does Max exhibit any signs of like a molested like child?
No, I don't think he
does he exhibit any of those
It
behaviors?
was a really poor
Oh my
taste
God.
joke on my part.
Yeah, yeah.
Extremely-
What's it called? One of our audience members does believe that like Max has a theory that Max suffers from like a neglected or an abused child like shit like stuff, and you never know what could like feed into that shit. You never know. It's worth walking down every avenue. Not everything's on film. Just saying.
I'm sorry, my sound cut out during all of that.
Oh, it didn't.
It did a little bit.
I'm
It
just,
did a little bit a lot because it was all of it.
I'm saying there's no reason not to to completely dismiss that avenue. That like if Max exhibits some of the behaviors, you never know. Because again,
I don't think he does.
I don't know that because I don't remember the behaviors from the top of my head. So, and I'll be honest, I'm not willing to look it up. But either way, but yeah. So So yeah, again, the options were Roxanne, Peg, Debbie, and Lisa. Dude, does anyone remember Lisa?
isn't that hot blonde chick from that he was with in high school?
Yes, it is.
But okay.
Lisa.
Well-
Yeah, that. Dude, can you fucking believe that shit? That the fucking blonde gal-looking girl from the fucking opening the fucking opening number of of a Goofy movie has a name, and Beret Girl doesn't.
It begs the question, like, what the fuck they were thinking. Because I was thinking about it. For example, like, I was thinking about it for, like, Twice Upon a Christmas. Like, the reason why they didn't bring back Roxanne is, we couldn't animate her hair.
Yeah.
Like, well, in 3D. And on the idea of, like, I said before, like, why couldn't you just give her a haircut? And
Yeah,
if
why
you try
couldn't
to say the argument, well, the hair, her hairstyle is, like, part of her character. It's just, like,
It's
a
iconic,
defining
quote-unquote.
Yeah. It's a defining trait of her.
Yes.
But I'm like, yeah, but you gave Bobby a buzz cut. You took away his fucking mohawk for Extremely Goofy Movie and just gave him like a fucking
Buzzcut.
just a buzz cut. And I'm like, you didn't change him. You didn't have a problem doing that. How come you didn't? How come you couldn't
Because
do
he
that for
evolved as a
Roxanne?
character. He's changed. He's no longer blaming the Goof Kid. I fucking hate myself. I'm sorry. I'm just realizing how much I know about these movies just via like talking about it so fucking often. Like the fact that I'm able to quickly go like bam. Like I shouldn't be able to. I should be like, I don't fucking know. My answer should be I don't fucking know, dude. But no, I'm like, no. He's evolved as a character, as we can clearly see that he actually cares about Max Goof in Extremely Goofy Movie. While in a Goofy movie, they don't show signs of a deeper friendship. They show signs of just an acquaintanceship. In fact, God damn it. Either way, but yeah, you're right. Like it's such a bullshit excuse. But
Now, first sexual experience. Which one? Who's Debbie again?
you know who Debbie is, dog. We have an episode titled about her.
Wait, the cousin?
Yeah. Someone dead ass was like, was it the cousin? Hey, it is Ohio.
Well, our viewership in Ohio is not gonna like that comment.
Fucking, they'll get used to the incest is not like abnormal in any other state than other states. So fuck it.
Yeah.
Isn't it that wild to think about how how illegal incest is in America? Like it's crazy how many states you can marry your first cousin. That's fucking weird.
Isn't there like one state or maybe like 2 or 3 where it's legal to have sex with a horse? I know at least one.
I don't think it's. I don't think it's illegal to have sex with a horse. I think it's that like bestiality isn't illegal, which is like, which is such a. I don't know. I don't know, man.
But his first sexual experience. No, I like it depends on what they. It's just like that's just a very broad term.
Connor, what would you like? Again, okay, this is something I want to define. What would we define as a sexual experience?
Pee-pee touch.
So like masturbation.
First pee-pee touch. No, actually, that is a good question. That is a good question. Like, what's your first? Yeah. So I guess you'd have to ask yourself, what's your first sexual? No,
like a sexual awakening. You know,
that would
like
be your sexual awakening.
Yeah,
but that's not
experience.
It's
like my pants are tight. You know, like
that's not necessarily exactly. That's not necessarily an experience.
Yeah, popping a boner. Like are we considering? Are we talking about like, your first boner pop?
Not a non-random one, because at first, the first.
Yeah.
I feel like they're random when you're growing up, but then you're like, you think about
the first one that has a correlation.
The pretty girl in class, and then you're like, oh, so
the pretty girl in class, or your fucking like hot babysitter comes over and you're like, oh.
Yeah, or you're watching Top Gun and you're like, oh wait a minute, what's happening?
Or you're watching Goop Troop and Debbie comes on screen.
So we have our answer.
I was gonna say because like they would have said sexual awakening if they meant just looking at something and getting turned on. I feel like sexual experience is like the act of doing, because that's what the phrase sexual awakening comes from. You don't just say like I had my first sexual experience when I was like in such grade. Like you say like, oh, I got it. Your first sexual experience is my girlfriend in high school gave me a handy behind the gym one day.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. Like,
some form of like a sexual act involved, not necessarily intercourse, but any form.
So again, I ask you, is masturbation like a common for a sexual experience?
Like somebody again, like you mean when I say like masturbate? No, not masturbation. I don't feel like that's sexual experience.
Well, how about you, Connor?
That's a sexual awakening, not a sexual experience.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But experience would be something different.
So
it would be like your experience with someone else, like.
Okay. So
yes.
So
like getting handy.
Okay.
And that's also the point of the question, I think.
Okay, so that's interesting. Would you consider a makeout a sexual experience? Not like not like a peck on the lips, not like.
Is there an OTPHJ involved?
Fucking what?
A what?
An OTPHJ, an over the pants hand job.
Okay.
What?
Okay, I'll count that.
It's a classic move.
A classic.
It's a classic. The OTPHJ maneuver.
I can give it. I give it a count, or
I'd be honest. I think
get a cupping a feel.
Only if there's something like that involved. Yeah, that would be something.
Yeah, like copping, like touching a boob.
Yeah. Then that would be like more of like a first sexual experience.
Yeah, again, like yeah, like if we're talking about like if that's the definition, experience with someone, I mean the answer is most likely Roxanne.
Roxanne.
Well, it could also be the cousin.
Oh my god.
No, look. I don't mean to judge, and I don't. But there are some people who like sometimes are attracted to like their cousin, and they cop a feel or some shit.
I don't want to imagine Max, feeling up his cousin like that. Considering she was, I would say, like considerably older than him, but like, I don't know.
She's,
It's
no,
just like,
I get you. No, but I'm talking about like when when that person was a kid and they did it. It wasn't that she necessarily like received it. It's more along the lines like, oh, you did that, ha ha ha, and she's like, dude, I touched a boob. You know what I mean? It's one of those things that someone would like look back at their past and be ashamed of. They're like, what's wrong with me? You know, type of thing. Huh?
I said no kidding.
No shit. But I'm just saying, like, that could totally be a possibility, like something like that. Same thing with Peg, truth be told, where like Max would accidentally, like, not accidentally, or like,
Oh my god.
what?
What? That it could have been Peg who gave him his first sex?
No, like he tried to cop a feel of her when like acting innocent.
Oh no. Oh no.
Dude, they're like children perverts, bro. They exist.
Weird.
I know it's weird, but like I'm not gonna. I am being honest here. All right, I'm not giving no one any benefit of the doubt. There are children perverts here that exist in the world.
I don't like where this is heading.
I'm just saying, it's a fucking possibility.
It is a possibility, but it's not a thing. Just because it's a possibility doesn't mean it's something I would like to discuss.
Well, we're fucking talking about. You guys could have cut me off from like this poll at any time, and you did it. So now we're in it.
I was just gonna say, like, if like I said, like if we're counting like sexual experience, what we're defining sexual experience as sexual experience, it's my answer is Roxanne.
Yeah, the answer is most likely Roxanne. If we're talking about if we're gonna talk about because if I'm being honest, I would consider like a proper makeout, like a sexual experience. Like when the first time you kiss someone who's like a dating prospect or your boyfriend/girlfriend, and you like actually make out, is completely different from like any other like kind of kissing you ever do. Right? Am I wrong?
I guess, but that would I don't know, like that wasn't.
There's a reason why people find like quote unquote PDA like uncomfortable. If making out wasn't inherently sexual, like people wouldn't give a shit, right?
Well, I suppose so. Because I guess like it depends the level of I guess if you're making out like I don't know like
well that's what I mean. I'm talking about like not like kiss or long kiss. I'm talking about like making out, like making out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And especially when you do it for the first time, like that is like I feel like a sexual time. Like it's a very sexual experience. What did you say?
Yeah, I guess.
Like that shit's hot, man. To put it in layman's terms.
Let's move on.
I'm talking about when you experience it. I'm saying like when you experience it, you're like, bro, hell yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know.
You're
this is the one on the record.
Yeah, I just there's a tone in y'all's voices that is kind of accusatory or dismissive, and I'm not appreciating it because I'm being open and honest.
Accusatory?
Huh?
What am I accusing you of?
I don't know. Of it being degenerate or being weird.
No, I'm not accusing anyone of anything.
I'm just saying.
I'm just court.
I'm just being as honest as possible here, you
No,
know.
I get it. I'm saying I get it. I'm saying I get it. I got it.
Fucking hell, dude.
What's the deal with Moses? Why doesn't he get it?
But if only I was
Famous
good at,
movie.
if only I was as good as Mace to like do that live.
Well, you know what? To be honest with you, nobody really is because it was a keyboard.
Oh yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, but okay, so yeah, so yeah, again, even if like the first makeout session, like his first makeout session was probably proper with Roxanne, so yeah, or you could have got like, I'm gonna hate myself for asking this. I hate myself already. What?
What is it, King?
What?
What is it?
Would you consider like if someone gave you like a peck on the cheek or whatever, and you popping a boner because of it? Would you consider that like a sexual experience?
Nah, that's a sexual awakening.
That's like a sexual like kerfuffle.
Sexual kerfuffle. Oh god, that's a fair point. Okay, so now that we have so yeah, that still leads us down to the point that if we're considering a sexual experience like an encounter involving two people, and yeah, it has to be Roxanne. It's either Roxanne. So yeah, it's most likely Roxanne. Do you want to know the results of the poll?
Oh God, what?
With over 52% with 52% of all votes, it was Peg who won.
I'm not surprised.
Hey man.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah, I'm assuming majority of those people consider popping a boner to be like or a sexual experience, or they think like that like Peg's like a pedophile.
Again, I think it just leaves open to it's just like people are misreading the question. Like I can totally see like having my sexual awakening through Peg. Like I can see that happening, or even yes, I can even like say like his cousin maybe.
Yes.
But like I don't, in my heart of hearts, I don't want to imagine Peg being like either Peg being a pedophile or
Peg
Max.
patting Max over his pants for what was it again, Connor?
Over the
What?
pants hand job.
Over the pants hand job.
The classic OTPHJ.
Yeah, her patting him on the fucking pants, giving her one of those.
Don't use my words to describe Peg doing that.
Don't use my words to describe such degeneracy.
Please, such degeneracy. I can't believe it. Why am I not involved?
I wish I got an
Alright, enough.
OT.
An OTPHJ.
OTPHJ.
Cleo gave me an OTPHJ.
If I don't get at least one OTPHJ,
yeah, I wish I could get an
I'll have
OTPHJ.
massive headache.
While she was dating Abe and I was morning fawns, she gave me an OT.
Hey man, you guys have got an OTPHJ. Gandhi doesn't know what it is.
Hey.
Do you want to know what real power is? Real power is trying to bring down the Cuban Missile Crisis while getting an OTPHJ from Marilyn Monroe.
Anyway.
Getting off topic again.
But yeah, so yeah, the poll overwhelmingly, I don't think they misunderstood. I think they very if I'm being honest, the person who wrote the poll was a person called Drawlust, so that lets you know as much as you need to.
Oh my god.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. But and but my answer personally, because I believe Max would be such a fucking loser, is Mona.
No, yeah, I was gonna say like my answer would be Roxanne, but it's like if not Roxanne, it gotta be Mona. Come on, man.
Can
You
you
mean to tell
imagine?
me?
He hasn't touched a tit. Tell Mona. I'll be
Hmm.
honest. I'll be honest. I think Mona actually has a very high likelihood for it because of the way that short goes.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the idea of like, oh, I'll finally get the girl, and it's just like, bro, she's coming home to meet your dad on Christmas. If you don't have her by now, what? It's just like, come on,
Yeah,
you got her already.
it's yeah, exactly. It's
Hook,
the
line, and sinker.
yeah, it's the inherent desperation of approval, and that's like makes me believe that like he probably hasn't had a sexual experience at that point.
Yeah. Also, I was thinking about it like this: is the way he acted all awkward around the girls in Extremely Goofy Movie, like like saying, "Hey, you're that Max kid, right?" Like,
Yep.
yeah. I'm like, bro, why are you acting like a scared like 10-year-old boy?
Yeah, especially for bitches don't even look as like fucking hot, half as hot as Roxanne. You know,
Yeah, like,
there's a terrifying I. Okay, new theory.
oh god,
What if an extremely goofy movie isn't a sequel to a goofy movie?
what?
What if it's an AF?
Alternative,
Come on, you got it.
alternative fiction or
There's another word.
fantasy?
Another word. You know, it takes place in the
I wouldn't say frame. It's the
future.
AF feature. Oh,
It's an alternate future.
alternate feature. All right.
That's all my fanfic fans out there knew exactly what I was talking about. Right, Connor?
No, I'm so used to AU, like alternate universe. I'm
Yeah,
used to
yeah.
that abbreviation. That's my
Yeah, but
problem.
alternate universe has a tendency the idea happens concurrently. Right, Connor?
The alternate universe. What?
I said, what if a extremely goofy movie isn't a sequel to a goofy movie, but instead is an AF?
Um, I I'm trying to think if there's anything that directly correlates to the first one.
Yeah, think about that. Goofy has a different job. You know, Peg and like Pistol are still missing. Roxanne is nary mentioned. Powerline is not referenced.
Powerline is not referenced once.
He's not referenced. The road trip isn't mentioned.
He's best friend. Bobby is his best friend. One of his best friends now.
Yeah, Bobby's a good friend instead of a random acquaintance. Look, yo, we might be breaking something wide open right now.
We're exploring an angle we never thought of.
We're exploring an angle we never thought of. Honestly, actually, this theory explains.
It makes more sense because why is he such a dick to Goofy again, saying "get away from me" after they just had that experience in a Goofy movie?
It makes and think about this. What if all the sequels are just AFs? You know what I mean? Like House of Mouse, AF. A fucking Twice Upon a Christmas, AF. What if?
Or wait a minute. What if no. House of Mouse could possibly be a continuation of a Goofy movie because in a Goofy movie, as far as we know, he didn't finish college yet, which would make sense why Goofy could only get a job as a busboy. And Roxanne comes back in this.
Oh. Yeah, Roxanne exists, so maybe. Oh, that's a very interesting. So House of Mouse may be the only true sequel, and maybe. So House of Mouse might be the sequel to a Goofy movie, and Twice Upon a Christmas might be a sequel to an extremely Goofy movie, but extremely Goofy movie might be an AF of a Goofy movie. Doesn't that?
Yeah, like what if they never had the road trip?
Yeah, what if they never had the road trip? What if maybe the question, the actual truth, the divergent point was what if Powerline didn't exist? Because Powerline nary a fucking mention in an extremely Goofy movie.
No wonder they can't see eye to eye.
Exactly. There was no eye to eye, not there. He didn't do the standout concert. He probably never asked out Roxanne. He probably never dated Roxanne because he never had the music. He never felt confident. You know.
He couldn't feel like he could stand out.
Yeah. He maybe instead that's how come he focused more on skateboarding because he focused on something that he could, which wasn't the music that he was really into.
He focused all his sexual tension into being good at skateboarding.
Yeah.
All his sexual frustration.
Which brings us to our another point. Extreme Goop Max, what was his first sexual experience?
You know what? Oh, nah. Well, maybe no.
It's
I would say possibly before PJ started dating Beret Girl, like as a pity fuck, she would like just give like Max a handy.
Nah, no way. There's no way. No way. I don't see it.
But I don't know. I don't know. Like I said,
if Extreme Max first sexual experience has to be Mona. And in fact, if it actually explains Twice Upon a Christmas's weirdness of how come he's so still super unconfident about getting the girl, because he never did. Actually, what if Roxanne never existed? What if she just became like what was Roxanne is just Mona? She's just the alternate universe version of Roxanne.
That's why she's played by the same voice actress.
Why she played by the same voice actress with just short hair, bro? With Connor, give me your thoughts.
Well, I didn't know she was played by the same voice actress, so that's news to me.
I've told you this.
Forgot.
We've talked about this in this podcast. I've told you like, hey, want to hear an infuriating fact? You're like, oh, sure. And I told you that you're like, that is super infuriating.
That is really irritating.
Yeah, extremely. I know, right?
Man, this is just blowing our minds and our theories like just going all over the place.
But like, how do you feel about this this AU possibility?
I can see.
I never considered it.
There's always a goof, and there's always a girl.
There's a goof. There's a girl. There's always a redhead. like instead of it's always
there's always a goof and there's always a redhead.
Yeah, it's instead of there's always a lighthouse, it's always a goof and always a redhead.
The Blue Light Special was the lighthouse.
Yeah. God.
Oh my God, that's right.
What?
That's right. The Blue Light Special was a lighthouse. You're fucking right.
Started the journey. Yep.
That's what started our journey. Max, you fucking bitch. You don't understand. There's always a lighthouse.
There's always a lighthouse.
Stupid asshole.
Fucking, it's just Roxanne drowning Max, too. So like he never becomes Extreme Max.
I wish that would happen.
Yeah, that's what Max hasn't popped up since. That's what happened, like off screen. There was like a reality collapsing event, and alternate reality version Roxanne's all drowned Max in order to stop Max and Extreme Max forever existing.
But then there's like some alternate universe, like Burial at Sea. It's just Once Upon a Christmas.
Dude, look. You know what? Maybe we should explain this to people who don't know. So what we're making fun of right now is there's a game. There's games called the BioShock games. There's BioShock 1, 2, and Infinite. Now, BioShock Infinite is about it's a game that one of the main plot threads is like there's a you're reality hopping, and there's a bunch of reality powers, and the fucking ending of the game solves jack shit.
It raises more questions than solves answers.
And people literally were like, what the fuck does that solves nothing to the writer and director of the game. and it's so like they announced that they're making DLC after a shit ton of people called them out on the internet called Burial at Sea that tries to explain everything, and it still doesn't, which is fucking hilarious. So yeah, like that's what we're making fun of. Like so there's a line in it. It's like there's always a lighthouse because in the first BioShock game you enter the main place through a lighthouse. I don't know about 2. Does 2
Yeah, there's also lighthouse as well. But instead of going under the water, it shoots you up in the sky.
Oh, okay. Because I don't remember.
Moses, were you not listening? There's always a lighthouse.
No. I'm talking about BioShock 2.
There's always a lighthouse.
No. I
There's
said
always a
BioShock.
lighthouse, Moses. Oh, I know what you're talking about.
No, I said BioShock 2, not Infinite. I know Infinite has a lighthouse also.
Adam, lock the door.
Does it start off with the lighthouse? Well, it ends at the lighthouse.
BioShock 2?
Yeah, it ends at when you're helping your quote unquote daughter escape, and it ends with like going to the lighthouse. And you either there's actually more than just 2-3 endings.
Yeah.
I don't know if it starts off. I don't think it starts off at the lighthouse.
But
I think it starts off at the open.
But there is a lighthouse, so okay.
Yes.
Sense. But I know BioShock Infinite also has a lighthouse that shoots you up into Columbia. But yeah, so that's a line that it says like there's always a lighthouse, and you see infinite lighthouses and shit, and it's fucking dumb and stupid. So
there's infinite possibilities. There's always variables, but there's also constants. What the fuck does that even mean?
Yeah, it's stupid.
It's either one or the other. It's either variables or constants. You can't have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah, it's beyond stupid. Well, it's not necessarily beyond stupid because there might be, because constants are a thing, but it's just one of those things that it's just like Ken Levine was not a talented enough writer to actually like understand how any of this shit worked. Because anyway, that's beside the point. That's beside Goofy. But yeah, that's what we're making fun of. We're making fun of the really terrible, shitty writing of reality, like reality bullshit in BioShock Infinite.
BioShock Infinite.
Yeah, but yeah, so like but yeah, how do you feel about this AU shit, this AF shit, Connor?
I guess it makes sense. It makes about as much sense as any of our other theories. So I mean, but it certainly is interesting. It certainly gets the neurons activated.
The neurons active.
Much like PEG, it activates the neuron.
But yeah, yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna. But if I had to actually bet my money on like first sexual experience, I'm gonna go with Mona. Or like at least that's who he lost his virginity to. I kind of figured.
No, I mean if we're going by like what you said, like a serious makeout, I gotta believe they at least made out with Roxanne a little bit.
Yeah.
So
that's gonna might change my wording to virginity with Mona, because like I'll be honest, I don't believe he fucked Roxanne due to one point.
What one point is that?
Because the father's fucking terrifying.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Also, it's just like I don't know. Personally, I feel like they're still pretty young. Yeah, because you're 16 and you could have sex. I don't know.
I mean, not to like out myself or anything, but like I lost my virginity at like 16. So,
What'd you do?
I lost my virginity at 16.
To Roxanne's dad?
How'd you know? But no, like but yeah, like so like I'm not gonna cast a stone for something I also did, you know.
Also based.
But yeah, I'm not gonna cast a stone for something I also did, you know.
Yeah, I get you.
So,
but yeah, no, I don't know. I just don't feel like. Also, I just feel like the love he has for Roxanne is that innocent love, so to speak. You know what I mean?
puppy
Is it
love.
a-
You would say.
You know. Good one. I'm not the only quick-witted person here.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, like it isn't a lustful love. I don't feel like he's like, you know, just, you know,
He's
jerking
a,
off, you
he's
know,
a
like
16-year-old teenager, dog. And he sings that like awkwardly sexual line and stand out directly to Roxanne. Or lip syncs it, whichever you would prefer. Like that dude feels horny, man. Like, let's not pretend. He's a 16-year-old healthy boy, as far as we know. He's popping boners just like everyone else. But no, but yeah, truthfully, personally, I feel like he didn't have sex with Roxanne, mostly due to the fact that he was like terrified of the father. Because like that is like hell intimidating. Like
yeah,
there's
that man is a giant.
he's a giant. There's also just something inherently fucking, I don't know, like anxiety inducing about like interacting with your uh um interacting with your girlfriend's paternal figure, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how girls feel about like interacting with their like with their significant others like parents, but I know for a fact that like every relationship I was in, well, like, interacting with both either parent was like always kind of like a like type of thing, but dealing with the dad was always especially like a bit more for me personally. Like, I don't know, like, because I felt like I kind of got along with like a lot of my ex's moms, and I tried my best to.
Mm-hmm.
But like I still remember the first time my first ex, like I gave her like a hickey, and her dad called me out on it, and it was like, oh, you know, that's my daughter, and I was just sitting there like, oh fuck, I really don't want to be talking to this person.
Was he joking?
No.
That's scary.
Well, no, like he wasn't being mean about it. He was like, oh, he was just like being like, hey, you know, like I don't want her walking
Being
out
honest.
there. Like, yeah, exactly. He was just like being like, don't do that. Like, kind of like, yeah, like he's like, you know, like don't do that type of thing. Which I can understand why, because you know, like, you know, having your like, you know, teenage daughter, like it was her stepdad also, which makes it even weirder for me. I don't know like why, but it just did. But like but yeah, he was like, and I just remember feeling like, because he's like, hey, can I talk to you for a sec? And I was like, yeah, totally, because I was like totally like oblivious. And then he's like, look,
Like a fool.
yeah, like a fool. I was like, sure, I'm down to talk to anyone. And then
He's
he
like,
was,
let's go on a road trip real quick.
yeah, exactly. I'm like, fucking where? Let's go. And but he was like, hey, that's my, I know that she's my stepdaughter, but like, I treat her like she's my daughter. I don't like seeing her like that. And I was just like, fuck, I really don't want to be here. And then like, there's this really terrifying feeling like in at the back of my brain also, cause like, I'm gonna ask you guys this question. Should I like share how I lost my virginity on this podcast?
Oh God, like I think I know that's the.
Connor, how do you feel about that?
What we should do
Oh,
is
God.
have you do
This
it
is how.
and hide it behind a paywall. So if you idiots want to hear it,
Hey, you know what?
Save it for the Valentine's Day podcast.
Actually, you're right. But yeah, like but like there's just to be as simple as possible. There's other thing. I was like, oh, I just kind of not. Like, oh, I really don't want to. I was one of those things. I was like, I really don't want a parent to ever know about my sexual experience with their child. With the,
as far as they know, we are both virgins until the day we die.
Yeah, honestly.
Understandable.
Like, yeah, exactly.
I've had some close calls where I almost got caught about stuff. Not like in the. It's just that's the evidence left behind.
You
I
said,
had a close call here and there, but
yeah, but yeah. So yeah. So, but yeah, yeah.
getting back on topic.
But getting back on topic, I just kind of believe, again, just because of like my kind of fear of like parenthood shit, makes me believe that he didn't have sex with Roxanne.
Mm-hmm.
How long do you think they dated? If we're going by our primary theory.
I'd say at least throughout high school.
Well, okay. Are you sure? Throughout high school? Until graduation?
Look, if I almost fucking died for somebody, and like, going off a fucking like
Well,
a
yet
waterfall.
again, like that wasn't cut for Roxanne. Like that was almost inconsequential. Like he was gonna go on that road trip.
Yeah, but he wouldn't. That whole road trip wouldn't have been that whole instance wouldn't have happened if he didn't want to do this for Roxanne. Because remember, it was just like that whole incident happened because he made the turn to go to California, to go to for the concert, and
Well, yeah.
that made Goofy pull the car over because he knew his son was tricking him, and then that's when hijinks ensued. The car went off the cliff and into the river. It would have just been a regular father son road trip, and that incident wouldn't have happened.
I mean, sure, technically, but like, I wouldn't put that on my relationship. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have that weigh in on my relationship. I wouldn't be like, I nearly died for her. I'd be like, no, I nearly died due to a weird set of circumstances. Like, I wasn't like fighting for her, like while doing the perfect cast to catch my father after he fell off the fucking waterfall. You know, like it was just a weird, bizarre, crazy set of circumstances. You know, that's what
Yeah.
I would attribute it to, personally. So, like, I wouldn't. Yeah, exactly. I just wouldn't tie it to her like that. But yeah, I'm like, but but you in your position, you would fight tooth and nail for her.
I don't know. What I'm saying is, I feel like that's his in his mind, his dream girl next door. Like he wouldn't just give it. Like he wouldn't walk away from it so easy. Yeah, he would like do anything to hold on to her, considering he went the how far he went to get her. I don't feel like he would just like give it up so easily after getting there, unless like I don't know, unless she's like a shitty person and it's just like realizing, oh, like the person I like the idea that I had in my mind of this person is so far off, you know, and it's like this is just a terrible person, and I made a horrible mistake, but I don't feel like that's Roxanne. I don't feel like she's a terrible person, you know. I feel like I said, I feel like they would at least stay throughout high school, and then the problem of like going off to different colleges in different parts of the country, and it's just like I don't know, like the idea of like long distance relationship, for how many, like at least 4 years, would put too much strain on each other, and they decide to just amicably end it. That's how I feel like it would go if they did end things. Like the reason why they ended it would just be like they went to different colleges, different states. I don't know. That's how I see it in my mind.
What about you, Connor?
I mean, having been through a long distance relationship, like, so hold on, what exactly was the question again?
How long do you think Max and Roxanne were together?
That's a good question. To be honest, it'd probably be something like Wait, how old were they in the movie?
Like
In the first
16, about.
Okay.
Assuming Roxanne's in the same grade as Max, which she seems to be drawn to the idea as such.
Yeah, I would imagine they were in the same class. I don't know. It could be any amount of time. Like, other than so then that'd be like 2 years max, probably.
2 years
pun
max.
intended.
2 years max.
2 years max. Haha.
Hey, our band name.
You are listening to the Goofy Movies podcast, you stupid bitch. That's when we'd play all the.
Connor, that's gonna be our band name. 2 years
Our
max.
fucking-
You stupid fucking. Yeah, but no more than 2 years. 2 years maximum.
2 years maximum. But realistically, what do you think they actually dated?
About 3 weeks.
I'd say about 3 minutes, and then she met Goofy, and she's like, "Wow, this is a way better guy."
3 minutes after the movie ended. They
When the
broke
movie
up.
ends, yeah.
He's like, wow, I sure am a piece of shit. I'll go back. I guess I learned nothing from this movie, which is why I'm an asshole in the next one.
No, she looks at Max. It's like, Max, your dad's cringe, and then she walks inside.
Your dad's pretty based, but you're cringe. So it's like, wow, I'm a MGTOW now.
Just be like, the second he was like, "All Shantai, mademoiselle," kisses her hand. She's like, "Your dad's a simp. That makes you the son of a simp."
No wonder your mom's not around. And fucking walks inside.
I feel like it'd be the opposite. I feel like she'd be like, your dad's cool and classy, and you're a fucking e-boy, so get the fuck out of my face.
Yet again, the Virgin Max, the Chad Goof.
Exactly.
As per
That's
usual.
what I think. As per usual, cooked again, Maxie. Oh,
He can't get it away
fucking
with it.
cooked you again, you stupid simp.
This is why I'm begging Pete and Peg every other week.
Pegging Pete.
I don't know. I kind of like it. Yeah. Oh wait, no, that's Mr. Krabs.
But if I'm gonna be honest, I think I'm being honest. I think Max and Roxanne lasted 3 months to a year. You know? Like, the first 3 months would be extremely easy because they're on summer break.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I don't see them working out. Cause yeah, like they're just kids, man. Like I only
And
know.
love isn't real. Yeah, I know.
No, cause I'm thinking about. I only know like one couple that has been together since like that age. Like, and out of all the couples that like went on during my time at my alma mater.
Also, remember where we went to high school.
Well, yeah, but like high school sweethearts aren't common, and long term relationships
Well,
like long
In
relationships.
small town America?
It's especially. I don't know. Like it's still like yeah, again, like that's something that like kind of fell out of like grace around like the fucking 70s, dog. You know, like sure they still happen. Like yeah, again, I know a couple. I know one couple. There might be more, but like out of all the couples I remember, there's only one couple who I know are still together and they're married. You know?
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah,
I think I know who it is.
Yeah.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, you do. But yeah, like you know, like, there's only one, and like
I'm
fucking-
glad they made it.
Oh hell yeah, me too, man. God bless their hearts, bless their hearts. But yeah. So I just kind of think other than that, I don't know, man. Like that's a like because like you never know, because like as I said before, and I hate to bring this point up again, but how much do we know about Roxanne? Very, very little. Like, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Let's be 100% brutally honest right now. How many people have we met in our lives that are seemingly nice, that they're cool, they're nice, they seemingly are like perfectly normal people, but the more you get to know them, the more like small little annoyances pop up about them.
Why do I feel like you're talking directly at me?
I'm not.
The longer you know someone.
Well, I'm not saying this is a thing for every person you meet, but I'm saying like I feel like everyone's interacted with a person who is seemingly super normal, very nice, like like you're like, oh, there's like, oh, you expect like, oh, this is like a fine normal
person.
Yeah, like a fine normal like person whom like I never need to worry about anything like major. But then the moment you get to know them, like kind of a little bit, like the more and more you get to know them, the more and more like little annoyances they are. They may be a bit too clingy. Maybe they like you just find out like things about them.
Mm-hmm. The little things pile up to big things.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like you've had someone.
Yeah, I get it.
And that's what I said. I have to be brutally honest. That's what I said, like being brutally honest, because like I'm not calling out anyone specific or whatnot. I'm just saying that throughout life and time, like we always we always meet that person whom people don't like, and you interact with them and you're like, I don't get why they don't like them, but then you interact with them and you're like, I get it now.
I've experienced that with a lot of people, like whether it's teachers or like other friends or like people, like it's like that's such a real thing. Like we shouldn't name anyone specific, but like there's tons of people like we've discussed that, like not even tons of people. That makes us sound like smarmy backstabbers, but like it's there's people who I can think of like that. It's like exactly that, and you're like I don't see why he says that so much. That person sucks, and then eventually you figure it out.
Yeah, you figure it out, or you obtain forbidden knowledge or some shit.
Well, don't you hate forbidden knowledge?
Yeah, it's a fucker. But no, yeah, it's just exactly. It's just like we all. I feel like majority of people have interacted with that, and we don't know enough about Roxanne to say that she's not that.
Yeah.
Because again, like besides Stacy, we don't necessarily know that she's like inherently that popular. Like, yes, one dude hits on her, but that dude also made out with Lisa in the opening.
Yeah.
And so like that, like like she's a pretty girl, and like pretty girls get douchebags hitting on them all the fucking time. It's just like kind of like the deal.
Mm-hmm.
But like we don't necessarily see that Roxanne is like a super ultra popular girl. She has one friend. We only know of one friend that she definitely has is Stacy, and even then, we imply because of their the little interaction that Stacy and Roxanne are best friends, but we don't know that. We don't know how deep their connection is. So,
that's true. She could just be like, oh, Roxanne's like that quiet girl that every guy seems to like / want. She should totally come to my party, and then I will no longer be the weird ugly duckling. Oh, that's mean. I don't mean that.
Yeah, I don't know. She's popular enough to be the student body president, and that's pretty much the popularity.
I was about to say Stacy is confirmed popular.
Actually, yeah, that's true.
Because the entire
the whole school went to her house.
Well, I don't think the whole school. It's because that's clearly not the entire student body.
Well, at least the graduating class, or at least the whole class, her
Graduating
class.
class. What are you talking about?
Fucking her classmates, her grade level.
We don't know. Yeah, we don't know that because we see like that student body. It's huge. It's like a stadium.
Yeah, but like the way that everyone was cheering for it is like, thank you all for coming. To
Yeah,
my.
No. She's like, thank you all for this, and they're all cheering during a speech. And she's also reminder Powerline concert who like people who want to come. Yeah, we don't know how many people come because she might remind people of that. But like sometimes, like someone says something like that, but you also have your own plans to throw a similar party with your friends, so you cheer because you're reminded of your party. Even though you're not going to their party that they're talking about, you're just like, oh, I'm also doing that, so I'm also cheering. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, like, cause like we look at like the people in Stacy's house when the Powerline concert's happening, and there was like about 20 people,
At least in that room.
in that room, which yeah, again, that's kind of what everyone's there for the concert. So there's 20 people like approximately watching. So, but anyway, either way, my point is that Stacy's confirmed popular because the entire time they're cheering for her until Principal Mazer like talks and everyone goes dead fucking silent. Like so she's student council body president, and everyone's cheering for her. So as far as we know, she is totally like she has like a decent modicum of popularity. Roxanne's again, we don't know how close Roxanne and Stacy are. Like they're friendly enough, Like we know that Max isn't like like the coolest kid in school. We know that for a fact. We know like because people kind of bully him, like they steal his lunch. When he interjects between Lisa and the guy flirting with her. When he interjects at that point, like Lisa gets pretty upset and like punches him in the shoulder, kind of like, oh, he's a nuisance. And someone says no more looking at losers like him directly at Max. So it kind of implies that like Max isn't like super popular.
No, he's the goof kid. They don't like him.
Yeah, he's the goof kid. Exactly. I don't know. Anyway, we need to return to this point because I think we're going down a rabbit hole, like an interesting rabbit hole. But we're coming up at we're at hour 7. Sorry.
We haven't been recording.
No,
Yeah, a minute and 7 seconds. This is like no reality. That's all the time has passed since we started. Between it.
Yo, that'd be crazy. Any last words before we head out?
Off the top of my head, I don't know. My usual. I hate Mondays and love lasagna.
What about you, Connor?
I also hate Mondays and I love lasagna. So I'm on board with that.
You know what Italian cuisine I like?
Lasagna.
No?
Penne alla vodka with grilled chicken.
Hell
That
yeah.
is a good choice.
Hell yeah.
That's my shit.
All right. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon to get notifications. We're reading the comments. We appreciate any feedback. Thank you for taking us on a journey. Joining us on this journey. We love you. Have a good one wherever you are.
See you next week.
Same top. Did you cut yet?
She loves the groove.